Hello, this is Jacob Bolton, Associate Pastor of Christian Formation here at Westminster Presbyterian Church in Alexandria, Virginia. Today's Monday, the first Monday of Lent in the year 2021. Now, often people think about giving something up for Lent, a type of spiritual fast for the 40 days of Lent. Those 40 days, of course, mirror Jesus' 40 days in the wilderness. They mirror those 40 days that the ark that Noah and all the animals were on stayed afloat during the flood. But some people don't always give something up. Some people choose to live into their Lenten practice by adding something to their spiritual routine, if you will. And so every Monday during Lent, instead of giving something up, I'm going to talk about a different opportunity that we all have to add something to our lives to hopefully bring a little bit of hope and a little bit of, dare I say, resurrection. I know I'm a little early on that, but a little resurrection to our Lenten season. Now, this week, I had a very unique experience with some folks on my block. There was an incredible sound. Like this whirring, like motor engine sound, like this. It sounded like just a car kept backfiring over and over and over again. And then in the midst of that there were these mini explosions. So you could sort of hear like this rotor not working properly, and then 4 or 5 different people got out of their house, stepped out into the front, into the street. We're just kind of looking around like, what is that? It was so loud, middle of the day. And what ended up happening was one of the people, one of my neighbors, had in their heater unit, a bunch of ice had frozen inside. And what ended up happening was that ice that was frozen on the inside of that unit was all thawing and melting in little chunks at the same time, over and over again, repeatedly. And so once we figured out what this was, it was just amazing because it was so loud as this ice kept thawing and then sort of running down into this incredibly fast moving fan. And then this just ice sort of volcano blasting up into the air, being so loud. It was something I'd never seen before. Definitely something that none of us had ever heard before either. What was so neat was not only was this sort of just a bizarre occurrence that took a little bit of, Sherlock Holmes sleuthdom to figure out what was going on, but it allowed us the opportunity to unintentionally check in on one another. And I know that all of you understand fully how difficult it is to sort of just randomly check in on one another amidst this pandemic. Walking up and down the block, everyone's got a mask on, you knock on the door or something, you just immediately step back. And COVID's hit this block pretty hard. There's a handful of families who have lost loved ones because of it. And, we are all, doing our best to stay safe. Nothing wrong with that. But this experience, which started off with a little bit of fear and trepidation. What is that sound? What's going to explode? Oh my gosh. Just a second. Ended up being this opportunity for us all to come together and really check in on each other and see how we were all doing safely. Anyway, what I encourage all of you to do this week or this Lenten season is to pick something up. And that thing to pick up is to check in on one another. Whether your neighbors, whether they're loved ones, whether they're folks you haven't seen for a while, because we're in this just most bizarre of seasons of our life. And you can do that however you want. You can do that by sending them a Facebook message. You can do that by intentionally writing them a letter. Make it true to you and make it true to that friendship, that relationship. So anyway, on this first week of Lent, after that unique story that reminded me that I need to check up on folks, I encourage us all to do the same. Be a good neighbor, right? Mr. Rogers. But also just be mindful of people in which whom you have a relationship, friendship, family, all that. Keep an eye out for them. Let them know that you're thinking about them and that you're praying for them. And may that be one of the many things that we can all do together to support each other, always, but in particular this season of Lent. Again, Jacob Bolton, Associate Pastor here at Westminster Presbyterian Church, Alexandria, Virginia. Much love. Hold fast.